Join me as I dive into a month-long challenge to see if tech subscriptions are really worth the cash or just a total waste. We're living in a world where tech subscriptions have become an integral part of our daily lives. From streaming services to software tools, gaming memberships, and more, it's hard to imagine a day without them. But have you ever stopped to think, are these subscriptions really worth the money we're shelling out every month? The thing is, determining whether these subscriptions provide value or are just a waste of our hard-earned cash is a central challenge many of us face. We're constantly being tempted with new offers, free trials, and promises of convenience, but it's easy to get caught up in the hype and lose sight of what we're really getting for our money. Are we actually using these services to their full potential, or are they just collecting digital dust in the background? And what about the cost? Are we sacrificing too much of our budget for the sake of convenience? As we navigate the world of tech subscriptions, it's essential to take a step back and assess what we're really getting. Are we paying for features we don't use? Are we being locked into contracts that benefit the company more than us? And what about the environmental impact of our digital habits? These are just a few of the questions we should be asking ourselves as we try to make sense of the often complex world of tech subscriptions. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to whether tech subscriptions are worth the money. It really depends on how we use them, what we get out of them, and what our priorities are. When it comes to streaming services, for example, the benefits are clear: access to a vast library of content, convenience, and often a decent price point. But are we really using these services to their full potential, or are we just mindlessly binge-watching the same old shows? And what about software tools? Are we actually using them to boost our productivity, or are they just collecting digital dust on our computers? The answers to these questions will be different for each of us, and that's what makes this topic so fascinating. Take gaming memberships, for instance. On the surface, they seem like a great deal: access to a vast library of games, online multiplayer capabilities, and a sense of community. But are we really getting value for our money, or are we just paying for something we'll barely use? And what about the impact on our gaming habits? Are we being encouraged to play more, or are we just getting caught up in the same old routine? One of the most compelling insights I came across while researching this topic is that the average person spends around $150 a month on tech subscriptions. That's a staggering amount of money, especially when you consider that many of us are barely using these services to their full potential. But here's the thing: if you're getting value out of these subscriptions, if you're using them to boost your productivity, enhance your entertainment, or connect with others, then maybe that $150 a month is worth it. The key, of course, is to be intentional about how we're using these services and to make sure we're not falling into the trap of mindless consumption. What do you think? Are tech subscriptions worth the money, or are they just a waste of cash? As we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways. Firstly, convenience and cost-effectiveness are not mutually exclusive. We can find ways to make our tech subscriptions work for us, not against us. Secondly, it's essential to be intentional about how we're using these services and to make sure we're getting value for our money. Finally, I want to hear from you. Do you have any experiences with tech subscriptions that you'd like to share? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to dive deeper into this topic, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring the environmental impact of our digital habits. Thanks for watching, and until next time.